After having seen the second episode of Teen Titans Go, I wanted to take a moment to talk about it and to follow up on my review of the first episode. I will say that I liked the second episode better. It had more to do with fighting villains and actual superhero stuff as opposed to sandwiches from outer space or whatever the fuck that was. I'm sorry, that sandwich episode was just so fucking stupid. I can't believe they started with that one. Now, just to clarify something and to answer some of the comments from my last review, regarding Raven, I did think the Pretty Pegasus joke was funny, but aside from it feeling a bit like overkill from Tara Strong, my main concern was with how Raven specifically would fit into the new tone of the show. In the old show, she had a very dry sense of humor, which I really liked, but with how much wackier the new show is, I was afraid they wouldn't be able to center on Raven without making her do something massively out of character. And thankfully, the second episode addresses that very issue. In fact, all the focus here is on Raven and Robin, which were the two characters I thought would have the most trouble on the show. Granted, Robin is still completely insane, but I think there's a little more flexibility with that character, and it was still entertaining. But I think the point that I'm trying to make is that I'm more willing to accept the random off-the-wall stuff as long as they can get the characters right and don't completely change their core personalities all the time. And speaking of which, I've noticed that some people were commenting on how Beast Boy can now talk while he's in his various animal forms. Now, that's actually something he already does in the comics. I know in the old show some artistic liberties were taken, and the reason he couldn't talk was so that when he changed into, say, a bear, a rhino, or a cheetah, it would feel just as intimidating as the actual animal. With Teen Titans Go, I'm assuming the reason he can talk now is to give him more chances to crack jokes and be funny, and just to keep with the overall lighthearted feel of the show. Though I want to stress that I don't know that for sure, I'm only guessing. But if that is the case, then ironically, by doing that, they've actually made the character closer to the original source material. Otherwise, I really don't think I'm going to have too much else to say about this show. I still stand by my original assessment. It can be entertaining and funny, and I can appreciate the fact that it knows that all it's trying to do is make you laugh, but that's about it. If you miss an episode, or all of them, then it really doesn't matter that much. I've seen some comments from people saying they thought it was surprisingly good, and some others who hated it for being too shallow and stupid. Personally, I'm leaning more towards liking it, but I can't really disagree with either point of view. If you don't like it, I completely understand. I guess for those of us hoping for a more engaging superhero series, we'll just have to wait and see what they do with that new Batman show that's coming out. And you know what? I'm sorry, but why the hell does Batman have to be in everything? And don't get me wrong, I love Batman. He's one of my favorite superheroes. But you didn't have to fuck up the Green Lantern movie. You didn't have to completely give up on the surprisingly decent Green Lantern series or the excellent Young Justice. In fact, Young Justice already had Batman in it. That wasn't good enough for you? I mean, the whole point of it was to show that there's awesome stuff going on all throughout the DC universe and not just in Gotham City. Man of Steel better not suck, that's all I'm saying.